Welcome back to Quake 4.
This is Command HQ to all units. A full retreat has been ordered. All squads are to meet at the waste facility for immediate evac.
Let's observe the assembly line. Guys, I think he might not be enjoying the process. Unlike him, and I want that, yes. Unlike him, we have the chance to evacuate out of here. Okay, let's PPP them to death. Okay, this is probably a bad idea. Ah, fuck. It's 71 because I missed one death last time in the end. It's okay, I have a plan. The problem with this on highest difficulty is the more... it's less difficulty, strictly speaking, and it's more that it's trial and error. And to be honest, I took a look at other Raven games, older Raven games, from before they were in slavery by Activision. And their highest difficulties, they were like this as well. The worst example that I can... The worst example that I can recall is Soldier of Fortune, where the highest difficulty was just stupid and unfair and not fun. And it was also trial and error. And it's the same thing here. You have to pretty much know how to know where exactly all the enemies are, because 90% of the time they are going to spawn in such locations that you will not be able to do much of anything unless you actively plan for these enemies being in these specific spots and know in advance how to take them out. Maybe this is designed for repeat runs, I don't know, maybe, but it doesn't make it any more fun. I should have saved some doctor funds for this video. By the way, they're not actually doctors, they're called scientists. Strogg scientists. I actually looked this shit up. There is no difference. I would have preferred if they were called doctors, because this is a medical facility. It doesn't look medical, it doesn't seem medical, but it's called medical. So it's medical. Some Russian hospitals are kind of similar to this, by the way. Trust me, I know. Well, this totally doesn't look like a corridor for a berserker to jump me. Knew it. And this is why I did not pick up these armor and health at the first time, because I would have just lost them all. And this way I have lost only some of it. Okay, now let's get these rockets. I think they might be intended for you to actually break that berserker with this with these rockets, but you should not do this. This would be a very dumb idea, especially knowing that a berserker takes, I think, either 3 or 4 rockets, which in closed quarters, which is 90% of the game, is a very bad idea. And it's time for more PPP. 4 rockets. Okay, before we go into that opening in the wall, that crawl space, let's try and find whatever ammo we can. Nope. Nothing. This is depressing, given what's about to come. Okay, by the way, we are approaching the point in the game where the Hyper Blaster is going to become one of the main weapons. Did you see that? So scary. Well, to be fair, it is kind of scarier than Doom 3 at least. I don't hate Doom 3, but god, that game was trying so hard to be scary and was so not scary at all. Okay, well, this is gonna suck. Introducing the Strogg's best friend. You'll pay for that in Stroggy coin. You are not a good Stroggo. You are not a good Stroggo. Luckily, these dogs are extremely rare, but where they are, where they do spawn, they are such a massive pain that they become top priority instantly. Luckily. By the way, 7 HP is perfectly fine because we are done with the Strogg Medical Facility finally. Finally. Luckily, in the future, when we will encounter these dogs, these Stroggs, we are going to have the equipment, the weaponry, the ammo to deal with them, but they will also be accompanied by other enemies in addition to the ones they spawn. So it's going to be extremely hard, well, on this difficulty level, to navigate between the dog being the top priority on one hand and other equally dangerous or even more dangerous enemies attacking you at the same time, and this is all going to be in tight corridors. Most of the time you're going to want to destroy them either with the grenade launcher, by spamming grenades, or you're going to have to fire off a BFG, a dark matter gun projectile. But even then, on general, they don't. Nothing except the weakest enemy dies in one BFG shot. Just goes to show you how useless the guns are in this on the highest difficulty. Okay, now that we're done with probably the worst part of the game, apart from the boss fights, we have a new vehicle section. This one is not fun. This thing controls like shit, but it's also easy. It's much easier than the other one. The Strogg are going balls out on me. The weapons are the same as the hover thing, the hover tank or hovercraft, whatever. But the armor and shields are different. The thing has very little shields and a lot of armor. But armor also regenerates really, really slowly, unlike the shields, which will regenerate in a matter of a couple of seconds. These flyers are called Hornets, by the way, and they're annoying. The Strogg are building balls and bridges.
This is Eagle 17, preparing to make a strafing run.
Shit. The best thing about these vehicle sections is that these things die real fast and are non-threats at all. You see why this is boring? It's funny because all they're doing is just rehashing the original vehicle section, but they just made it slower. And everything else is completely the same. There's only one major difference, but that will not be apparent until we approach the air quotes boss battle with the spider thing, with the harvester. Oh, you. Fuck you. I think it might be that the developers never found a good way to transition between the medical facility and the next area because of how different they are design-wise, visually. I think that might have been a quick fix. Or a lazy fix, who knows. I was surprised to learn how easy to take down these things are. But don't worry, we'll do a lot of that in the upcoming turret section. Yes, this game has another turret section. This is going to be fun. Does this remind you of anything? It feels like I'm here for the third time already. Nice physics. Don't worry, we're gonna see physics that is so much better than this. Okay, fortunately after this turret we will be having our mini-boss battle, and then this section is done for. And then this section is done for. This is one of the problems with Quake 4. This game is a slog, not just because... oh, more balls. Not just because of the problems with difficulty and weapons and your general slowness until you're stroggified, but also it's this kind of pointless padding. You don't need this in a game, in any game. This is not a long corridor, but with this thing's speed, it feels extremely long. Luckily, this is where it ends. I, as the rogue transfer, have reached the dispersal perimeter, and due to the combination of the environment here, the fact that there's this pipe, so there's cover from this thing's attacks here, and also the fact that your rockets have the capacity to home in on this thing, and you launch them like this. This fight, also there's only one harvester. This fight is much easier than the previous fight where there were two harvesters. Still, even with that, it takes a solid couple of minutes of just of relentlessly firing at it to take it down. Like everything else in this game, it's a fucking damage sponge. I thought it was dead. I was wrong. And I paid for it. Well, let's try again without dying. Okay, thread, comments, hit me up with your best spider puns. Okay, now I'm in a better position, because I'm moving away from it for once. So it will go down easily. Also, this is a better way of avoiding rockets than trying to shoot them out of the sky with something that has pathetically low accuracy. Almost ate shit there, but I'm better than that. Shit. Well, hopefully. Oh yeah. Now, if it were a bit less damaged, it would have fired off a hit on me and it would have insta-killed me, because I don't remember the lower difficulties, but on this, getting hit by this thing in melee is just an instant death regardless of how healthy you are. And with this we are done for now. Thank God. It's only gonna get worse from here. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.